Okay, hey, we are back again for part four. I purchased a bag of plain potato chips and some Twinkies. I was a little scared walking over to the other building, mainly due to the time of the night and the city that I was in. This was Baltimore, y'all. Needless to say, I didn't get any sleep that night either. 6 o'clock in the morning couldn't come fast enough. I wanted to get out of Baltimore and far away from Antoine as soon as possible. I didn't want to see him again. I didn't want to see that man again. I had to spend $20 extra on the cab ride to the bus station. The plan was to go back to Blacksburg, but the way I felt, I wanted to go home to see my family. I knew that if I came back to school, all I would do is sulk and not be surrounded by people to comfort me. I would have been more miserable. So I decided to call Kishana. Kishana is actually my cousin around 6:30 a.m. to let her know what went down and tell her that I wanted to come home. She was real pissed and upset at the situation after she learned that what Antoine did to me. I couldn't do anything but cry when she asked me if I was going to be okay because I knew at that point I did not feel okay at all. I decided to make the trip home. That cost me an extra $21. Y'all listen to all these bills is racking up. $21.50, $20, the $50 that I gave him. It was worth it because I needed to be cheered up at this time. I had to wait at the bus station for about 3 hours until the next bus to Richmond would depart. While I waited, I left a nasty message on the machine for Antoine and canceled stop payment. See, I was smart for one thing. Stop payment on the check that I gave him. Bingo, Elmira sometimes be thinking. Sometimes I'll be thinking. Thank God for giving me the foresight and intuition to do that. I could not wait to get to Richmond. I finally arrived around 3 p.m. and Kishana was anxiously waiting to pick me up. That night, Kiwi, that's Kishana's name for short, Chris and I went down to ODU to see Wilhelmina. We were scheduled to see a play called 1001 Black Inventions. When Chris arrived at Kishana's house, now Chris is Kishana's or was Kishana's boyfriend at the time. When Chris arrived at Kishana's house, he gave me a hug and a heart-shaped lollipop. Chris is so darn sweet. Aww. How sweet. Kiwi has a great boyfriend, even though she doesn't think so all the time. Cousin Shirley had prepared some chicken nuggets and French fries for us to eat while we were on the road. See, that's what my cousin's mom, she was always like that. She would make sure you had food when we would go over there and hang out before we would go to the club. She would treat us, what you need, girls? What you need? So I was so heartbroken and I came home. She had chicken nuggets and fries. I was so blessed. I still remember that meal. That was the funnest ride down to Hampton, Virginia. We ate, Chris had his DVD player going, and we laughed. That's exactly what I needed. This was good for me. I'll never forget how frightened Kishana was as she drove inside the tunnel. I could sense her fear from the back seat. The play was great, and my situation gave me the opportunity to visit my sister at ODU. This is Old Dominion University down in Hampton, Virginia. I had never gotten the chance to visit her before. When I got home, things were okay that night. I was still saddened, but being home allowed me to cope with my depression. I wrote Antoine an email that night. I enclosed the poem Why that I had composed on Thursday night. On Saturday, Destiny, Jonathan, and I spent the entire day with Aunt Anna and Aunt Pauline. Aunt Anna and Aunt Pauline, they are my great aunts. They've since their ancestors now, they passed, a beautiful, beautiful women. I hadn't planned on visiting them, but I guess God has a way of working things out. It was just like old times. We had good conversation, ate a delicious lunch, and attempted to answer some of the questions from this Bible quiz book. We played on the out of tune piano and sang songs after lunch. I had a great time that day. I forgot that I was supposed to spend the day with Kishana. We walked home in the dark by flashlight. That was an interesting experience. I left on Sunday to go back to Blacksburg, Virginia. I felt a little down, but much better after getting the opportunity to see my family. I now appreciate them even more. They mean so much to me. God has truly blessed me with some wonderful people in my life. He was able to turn a trying time into a blessed good time. This is a prime example of God's awesome power. He can surely turn a dark, cloudy day into a beautiful, sunny one. I have yet to talk to Antoine since that night, but when I do talk to him, we will have a long conversation. I will also thank him for doing what he did because it made me stronger and trust God that much more. It also allowed me to reassess my feelings for him. I do love him, but I don't think it is necessary or beneficial for me to remain his girlfriend. I'm praying to God for insight on this. Antoine is in my life for a reason. Maybe his purpose was to teach me this lesson. And there the story ends.